consider yourself attractive?
In a way, you'd have to cue my piggy tails there. So I'm a process operator where we sort of crush and screen the ore. So the big dump trucks will dump it and then we deal from it there. So we'll crush it down to a smaller size. We'll separate the manganese, which is what we produce, from the rest of the dirt, and then we sell it off to China and that sort of stuff. Sort of high school sweethearts. I met my now wife back at Kent Street in year 10. We were going out by the end of that year, unbeknownst to her parents. But yeah, everything went well, and we found out that we're having our first child at the age of 19 and had him at 20. So started off as young parents, and that sort of changed the path of our lives forever, but definitely the best sort of thing that's happened to us since then. I mean, it's pretty full on at the start. You're sort of unknown, you don't have any friends that are doing that same thing as you, so you're definitely put into a different world than you're sort of used to. But yeah, every moment's such a joyful moment with kids, and even when you're trying to just make through the night and that sort of stuff, it's still, yeah, it's all such a positive experience. So yeah, it's been good. And yeah, we've got another son that's 4 now, Ashton. Fletcher's so much like me, like Fletcher's a doppelganger of me, and then Ashton's like his mum. So both my parents were Australian volunteers. So I was born over in Nicaragua in Central America, and that's just a national name, sort of a local name there. So 1 in 2 boys is named Salvador there. Yeah. And then my sister's name is Xochitl, and she was also born over there, spelled Xochilt. And then my brother was born here in Perth, and his name is Tom. So I was born in Central America in Nicaragua, Managua, and then came back when I was about 4. So I lost my Spanish, unfortunately. But yeah, once I was 4, came back to Perth, lived in Carlisle for the rest of my time, and then my parents moved to Fiji for a couple of years as well when I was about 9 and 10. So did that for a couple of years and then came back again. So yeah, had a bit of a moved childhood, but a really good experience and a lot of traveling, which has been sort of bred into me as well. A heap of sport, really. Anything competitive, but just everything outdoors. So rock climbing, tennis, soccer, basketball, table tennis, ping pong, you know, all the sports. Board games, really enjoy board games, and yeah, just mucking around with friends. Love a good wrestle. I think my friends would probably describe me as the wild card in the group. Just someone that likes to muck around and is always quite cheeky. Yeah, I think that I'm not the quietest in the group, you could say. I think being a parent and sort of not socializing as much, my outgoing days from when I was younger has sort of weaned off to now being a bit of a hermit at home and just sort of staying around with the family. So I think being with new people now, I'll be a bit more quiet, but definitely in this sort of survivor framework, I'll have to be the old Sal that's very outgoing and personable and that sort of thing. So I think I'll just be easy to get along with and shouldn't be any dramas, and I'll keep the wild card bit to later in the game if I get there. Yeah, absolutely. I don't see any reason to lie. I think it's a good way to maneuver old people and then maybe not talk about as much with younger people. So yeah, I'll definitely use it to my advantage in speaking to some people more about it if I can, and less to other people. The most courageous thing that I've ever done would probably be over in America at summer camp. I made some really good friends and we went cliff jumping one time. That was quite fun, but unfortunately after my friend and I jumped into the river, one of my friends that was, or all the wusses that were sort of climbing back away, he lumbered sort of down his big gump and fell down the cliff and seriously injured himself and fell in the water. And I was sort of the first responder, swam over to him, turned him over and took him to the shore. He's fine now, which is really cool, but yeah, he was flown off to hospital and had bleeding on the brain, so that was quite a traumatic sort of experience, yeah. No, I don't think so. I was forced to skydive, so I don't like putting my trust into things that I don't have full coverage over or full support in. So like roller coasters, I'm a bit iffy in. Skydiving, bungee jumping, that sort of thing I don't like. But yeah, I only said that I would cliff jump if someone else cliff jumped. So I'm sort of prepared to do it if someone else will do it, and that's what I was happy to do. But yeah, I don't think so. I think loyalty is not the most important thing to me inside the game, but definitely outside the game it is a lot. So I think I'll just check that at the door when I come in and yeah, muck around with it as much as I can. I know I'll be lying to a heap of people, so I hope to sort of get some leeway with some people if I can give it back to them. So I played an Org last year, and then I've also played in the All-Star version this year, and that's been a lot of fun. In the first one I played, I managed to win it. I had to do a lot of everything to do with lying and backstabbing, but also creating alliances and that sort of thing. I'm sorry, I'm not really sure how much you want with that. So in my org, I made really good alliances and that sort of thing, which showed me what to do if I was to ever get to this stage. But I think one of the things that I was really good at was sort of playing the middle. So that's something that I'd like to do in this sort of season, is try and play the middle, feed information to the other side that helps me. So I did that a lot in my game, and that managed to get me to the end. And then I also did screw over my best ally because she had the legacy advantage, and I needed that, so I had to get her voted out, but I had to make sure it didn't look like it was me, otherwise I wouldn't get it. So
did you get it?
I got it, yeah, and she was pissed off afterwards, but she still voted for me at the end, and I managed to win that season, so that was cool. I think some differences in the org sort of Survivor that I've played and this backyard Survivor of yours will be the massive contrast between time. I had 50 to 55 days of hiding behind a keyboard, playing the games, but also socializing and speaking with people and creating good bonds. Whereas in the game of your backyard version, it's like you've got 30 seconds, you're one-to-one in front of them, and if you lie and they see your eyes flicker or something, you could be completely screwed. So I think it's an extremely condensed version, and I'll have to watch that the most. I don't expect to win. Obviously everyone tries to win, but I think I'll make it far if I can sort of implement the plan I've got in place. Yeah. I think my plan going into Backyard Survivor will be similar to the game I played with my orgs. I think I played a game that worked for me, that was playing in the middle a lot, sort of feeding information to the other side that was just enough to sort of make friends with them, but also keep me off the chopping block. So if I can make a good alliances in this game that sort of covers both sides, then I really think I'll be able to go far. So I'm hoping to do that. I think the thing that I would be most proud of is a pretty easy one. I think it's just definitely being a family man. At the age of 19, learning that you're going to be a dad is pretty a confronting topic, and it was definitely something that was not expected, but it's been such an amazing experience, and yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world.
What's the nicest compliment you've ever received?
I already answered this one, and I don't know. And your light just turned off as well.
Oh, that's okay.
I think like I got a Constable Care teddy bear in primary school. That's the only thing that comes to mind. I still have that teddy bear, but my wife thought I shouldn't mention that. It sounds a bit weird.
What did you get it for?
Because I was a very caring kid in primary school, I think. Probably the last time I flirted was when I was 16, and I got what I wanted, and now she's my wife, so it's a good strike rate, I'd say. In the real world, I'm very good at keeping secrets, and you don't have to worry that I wouldn't tell them, but with Survivor, it's like, yeah, chuck that out the window, you can do whatever you want. So I'd be terrible with secrets. With my sort of plan to sort of play in the middle, I think definitely I'm keen to share secrets that are given to me if it'll benefit me in the long term. So I'm gonna let those secrets fly. I think I would consider myself smart, but I think I consider everyone smart. It just depends what the topic is. Well, I'm 28, I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they're still alive. So, you know, that shows some intelligence, right? Again, my wife said not to say that though. But yeah, you know, I have a good job that I have to think with, so I guess that's showing
you have to get your wife to approve this video.
She's going to see it and be like, I told you not to say it, and you said I told you not to say it. Yes, I think so. I think I've got the right mindset to be able to tell lies and for them not to see it, and then also just to believe whatever I say. I've been doing it all my life. I'm a bit of a trickster in my real life, not like in a bad sense, but just being able to like just completely flat out lie to my parents saying, yeah, I just gave my brother a flogging in table tennis when really I lost, you know, stuff like that. I'd say that I think I'm like the perfect person. I'm not someone that's super muscly and sort of seen as, oh, that guy's a physical threat. But I think in Backyard Survivor, the challenges are made that you just need to have a bit of strength. So I've got that bit of strength, and I don't have too much that will show me as someone that needs to be voted out because of it. I don't think I have any regrets. No regrets. You know? No regrets. That's it. I think the biggest obstacle in life was finding out that we were having kids at the age of 19. That was something that was a complete shock, but it's all been for the better. You know, I don't think I'd be the man I am today if I didn't have that challenge that really tested me. So yeah, I think I've got plenty to prove. I've always wanted to play Survivor, and it's been a dream. I've managed to play the online game a bit, and now I really want to test myself and be able to show to my family and friends the game I'm so obsessed about I can actually do well at. So yeah, I don't see myself getting out first. I think I see myself getting out once people realise that I've been lying. So that's something that I'm worried about. But yeah, I don't see myself getting out first. My biggest fear in life.
It's a big one.
Yeah, I think the simplest thing is once you're a family man, it's dying before your kids, dying before your kids die. I think my biggest fear in life is my kids dying before me. Yeah, that's it. That sounds terrible the way I put it, but yeah. I can say that again if you like.
No, I think it's fine.
Yeah, you understand. I think you need to have skill in the game, so playing it before, I think I've got that. You need to definitely have some luck. I think every winner that's ever played has had some sort of luck in one way or another, and it's being able to position yourself to get that luck. And then also a bit of challenge prowess would help. So winning some challenges, and then also just the social ability in this sort of fast format of 2 days for the Survivor game. You really need to be able to know how to talk to people, get on their good side. I think what I'm willing to do to get to the end is just whatever it needs to be done. So if I need to be the best friend to someone and then lie to their face, then I'll do it. But as well as that, if they can help me out, then I'll leave them for a bit. Yeah, whatever I need to do. So Keegan is a favourite player of mine, and for him to say that he came from Melbourne at that Final Four bit, I was just like, why, Keegan? You should have said Stephen was from Melbourne. You know, like throw him under the bus, so then it's like, well, that guy came from Melbourne, so we should vote him out, otherwise he's going to have a really good case to say. So I would have said that instead of the other way. I'm very excited about idols. I think I'd like to be like Russell Hanson, find them without any clues, so I'm going to be darting my eyes everywhere I can. I think I want to stay with the group, but I'm going to be searching as much as possible because, yeah, I really want to tick that off my bucket list of getting an idol. I want to play Backyard Survivor because I don't think I'm a super fan, but I'm definitely quite a big fan. So this is something that I've talked about way too much with my family, and they're all sick of it. And I just want to be able to play the game that I've loved for so long.
You think your family's sick of it?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. I think my biggest weakness will be my lies, and if it'll catch up with me. I'm sort of worried about if I can get into the evening and if the day goes quite long. If I've got a lot of lies to a lot of people, it could really catch up with me and unwind very quickly. So I'm worried about that the most. Oh, also, I'm also worried about going to the bathroom a lot because I have a very weak bladder. So I think I might wear some grandpa nappies. That might help.
That's going to be some interesting B-roll.
Yeah. I think my biggest belief that I'm going to have to try and tone down would be being a vegan. It sounds typical, but like I think vegans are still a minority in the world, and it definitely could be hard to be on the right side with people when you're in a minority like that. So I'll have to try and downplay that as much as possible.
Would you do a food challenge?
No.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. I think the most mischievous thing I've done is just being a really a wild card. Like, yeah, I've always been a little trickster, a little kid that will get other people in trouble just for the fun of it. So back in the day when I was little, I'd slap my belly with my brother in the room and call out to my parents saying, "Mom, Tom just smacked me," even though I just smacked myself for no reason, but just for a laugh. In games, I love to cheat. So I'd like steal extra money in Monopoly. All the things that you can do, I will do it. Yeah, so I'm a bit of a naughty boy. Do I think rules are supposed to be broken? Yes. Okay, so if someone's upset with me from something I did in the game, and this is after the game is finished, I definitely will be as honest and transparent as possible. To me, this is a game that I really love, and I know I'm going to do things that are really bad, but I just want to explain to that person that's been hurt that there was no hard feelings on my end. It was just specifically for the game, and I'd do whatever I could to sort of help that.
Cool. What do you think about the generation above you?
Ooh, is our season going to be Gen X versus Millennials? Maybe.
I cannot confirm or deny.
I googled the generation above me. They are from 76 and lower, so they're like 46 at the moment or older. So that's old people. I thought 30 was old, but now that I'm 28, that's not old. So yeah, I think they're old, happy people that I don't have really any dramas with. The generation below me isn't that far. So I'm 28. I don't even know what their name is, but it's like from 24 and below. So they're pretty cool. I think I'd have to sort of reintegrate myself with what the cool things are before the season starts, because I have been out of the game for a long time. So I'll have to look at TikTok and what clubs are open still. I think there's two sort of sides. So it's obviously the physical aspect is strong, but then also the mental aspect. So I think you need to have a good 50-50 of both. Obviously I'm not extremely muscular, so maybe I have 60% of the mental strength, but I think that's a good one to sort of hide behind myself. So yeah. The survivor move that I want to pull off, and I'm not sure if it'll be possible, will be to create a spy shack of some sort. I think that is just such a cool move to be able to hear conversations that were intended for you. So if there's any way of making some sort of spy shack behind your watering can, then I'll definitely be trying to do that.